So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video is I'm basically gonna break down how I made over $8,000 in profit last month using nothing but the sort of Algo X indicator, as well as made over $9,000 last week. So it's gonna be a really good video. I'm also gonna explain basically my ConFlux settings with you guys, because I keep getting multiple DMs with the same problem. So I want to actually basically make that clear and provide you guys with a solution. And I'm also going to be going over basically my newest flagship indicator called the Flux Engine, which actually will be actually released today in the WAP store, but it's going to be a separated payment, but with a 7-day free trial. So if you find value in this video, make sure you drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I do weekly uploads, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. All right, let me actually talk about. I actually want to go over my newest flagship indicator first. It's actually called the Flux Engine. So it'll be under your, indicators, invite only scripts, but I do have it saved. It's called the Flux Engine. Oops, I think I set the wrong one. Should be this one. So okay. So this is my newest flagship indicator called the Flux Engine. So what you want to do with this one, you want to go to your settings tab. This is a strategy, by the way. It's not an indicator. It's a full functioning strategy. So same thing. I do have this check by default on bar close, and I do check these two just for deep back testing. I usually uncheck that. Obviously, you can adjust your contract size. I've been using 2 contracts of M and Q just for now. Style tab, I usually uncheck these because that's too redundant, because I already have these strategy signals on the chart. And then I usually uncheck that. Visibility, nothing needs to be changed there. That's all I change on style, properties, inputs. The settings may be kind of confusing at first. The runtime profile just refers to a preset configuration matrix. So you can always choose manual custom, and you can always customize basically the settings. But I do have a preset MGC 5 minutes or M and Q, but I don't. MGC actually has not been performing, so I may actually change the settings. But as for now, it's not something I would recommend. I've been using M and Q on 5 minutes preset. So once you actually do select that, you do obviously have to be on the M and Q, and you do have to make sure that you are on the 5-minute time frame. And then it doesn't really matter what you change at any of these settings, as long as you are on the M and Q preset. It basically ignores all of these settings. And this is just what I've been using. So make sure M and Q 5 minutes, you're on the 5-minute time frame, and you're on M and Q. And this is what it's working best as for now. I will be adding more presets in the future. I just have to figure out basically what type of presets I should be adding. So yeah. So this is all I am basically doing. As you can see, if you look at the strategy report, over $12,000 in profit with $1,000 drawdown, 61% win rate. So I won more than half of my trades. Profit factor 1.4, and this was from last October. If you do list of trades, you'll see. So basically, winning trades is basically 188, and losing trades like 266. But you can actually, analyze the back test data on your own time. And then you can also go back, see how it's performing the last 7 days using 2 contracts of M and Q. And it's not bad, almost $1,000 with $400 drawdown. Let's go back last 30 days. So I'm still, positive. This is basically like almost a 1 to 2, over almost $3,000 of profit with $1,000 drawdown in last 90 days. It's basically 8,000, $1,000 drawdown. So I've been using this basically on my demo account. As you see, I'm up $300 in profit. If you go to my performance side, I've been beta testing this week on a demo account. I may actually apply this to an eval account next week. But as you see, I've been letting it run 24/7, or technically 24, actually 23/6, because it's 1 hour closure for futures market. So on Monday, 4 trades over 236. Next day, 4 trades as well, 308. This one took 6 trades, down 47. 5 trades, 161. 4 trades, 308. This is trading 2 contracts of M and Q. I'm up $965.96 for the week. I was actually over $1,000, but I did actually had a couple losses, so that did drop me down. I was actually up on $500 for the day, but then I had, I think, one losing trade, so it brought me down to 308. I may actually be setting my take profit limit maybe to 500, because I've been noticing it. It actually reached 500, like on $500 2 days in a row. And then after New York session hit, it actually gave me a couple of losing trades. So it brought me actually down. Because yesterday I was actually up on $500 yesterday, when I woke up from the Asian and London session. But during New York session, I guess I had a couple of losing trades, so it brought me down drastically to 161. But this is all being automated on Flux Engine so far, and you can see all the trades it took. All by itself. So we see it's really close. Drawdown two negative 227, 185, 179, 177. So it's pretty close to basically these results. So the link for this indicator will actually be in my YouTube description. But just an FYI, once you purchase this indicator, there will not be no refunds. So all sales are final. But there is a 7-day free trial, so you can always test it out for 1 week. And if you don't like it, then make sure you do cancel it before the week ends, because once it charges you, there will not be no refunds back. Okay. So if you do like it, then you obviously continue using it. But this will be $30 per month, and that's going to be for a limited time. Because I do have plans to increase the price to 40. Maybe after 1 or 2 months. Then after that, price does go up to 50. I think $50 will be my final price. But looking at this data from this week, I cannot be no happier with the results. So I find it doing really good during Asian session though. See, Asian session long hit, take profit, take profit, take profit. I was like I said, this took me over 500, then lost, so I'm down $300. Then during New York session, both two losing trades. During Asian session, winner, three winning trades during Asian session. But New York session does give me winning trades too. See, winning, winning. Then this was a loss, like almost broke even. But Asian session also gave me some losers. So this was a loser, this was a winner. This was a winner during New York session. The Asian session again had 1, 2, 3 winning trades back to back. This was a losing trade. 2 winning trades and a losing trade. So you can play with it, experiment with it. It does work really well in futures. This actually took me, I think, over $600 in profit on Sunday, and this was Wednesday. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 winning trades in a row, and only one loser, then followed by another 2 winning trades. But I cannot guarantee any results with this indicator. Obviously, just like any other indicator, it can give you obviously losing days, and it does actually give you losing trades as well. So I do not guarantee you will pass an eval of funded account, because obviously it's trading. I cannot guarantee no result. I cannot guarantee that you will receive the same results as I do. But the indicator link is in my description. If you choose to use it, you only have 1 week to decide. That after 1 week, it does charge you $30, and there's no refund for this one. Okay. And I will also add other indicators like the opening range engine, which is basically an orb automation strategy, as well as the gravity stratos, and as well as the quantum trend. But I'm not going to be talking about those in this video. Maybe in another video I'll talk about it. But my main indicator, my main flagship right now is the Flux Engine. And I'll be testing this on an eval account next week. So yeah, and I'll probably will talk more in depth about these settings for now. But as for now, I'm just keeping it on the preset M and Q. But you can always play with it. Um, Risk matrix, you can have the option to use points, ticks, or if you're trading forex, pips. This is basically target delta is just another name for take profit. Failure threshold is just another name for stop loss. This latency is just the amount of cooldown between signals. So let's say it enters and exits, then it cools down like by 2 or 3 candles before entering the next trade. I set this to 0 because I want to enter if there's another signal. So, and these are basically the confluences, basically for the long entry. It will generate basically a long signal, and then if you actually have this check um, inversion, it actually does the opposite. So instead of taking a long signal, it takes a short signal. So that's basically the gist behind it. I will probably be making a PDF explaining what each of these does. I actually coded this myself. I came up with different names for each one. But there will be a PDF file explaining what each one actually does, and you can actually experiment with these different settings. So, yeah. So that's it with the Flux engine. So moving on to the Shift Algo X indicator real quick. Let's just delete the Flux engine. So basically add the Shift Algo X indicator to your screen. I do actually trade this on the NQ, and I do trade this basically on my personal cash account on TradingView. So let's add that to your screen. Give it a second to load. I do try the 5 minute time frame now because the 1 minute time frame does actually change the settings more often. So I do actually prefer doing on the 5 minute time frame. And then we're going to change this to the 1 hour algorithm period. Let's get this a second to load. So we're going to change this basically to a 9 and then change this to a 6. I keep the risk to a 1. Email, I keep this as default 300. I do change this to 0 though, which actually does actually change my backtest setting as well because it's actually using more data. So let's give this a second to load. So it's a 63.51. So we're going to change this to a 7. And then we'll change this to an 8. So it should look something like this. Or shoot, what happened? Okay, let's do that again. All right, let's change this to 7 and this to an 8. All right, there we go. And then let's actually add the ConFlux indicator to the screen. So ConFlux. If you do want access to this indicator, the link will be in my description. And the ConFlux basically turns Shift Algo X from an indicator into a full functioning strategy. ConFlux, not be any free trial with the ConFlux, and all sales will be final after purchase, so there will not be no refunds for the ConFlux, and the ConFlux is only $15 per month. My other indicator, the Flux Engine, that will be a free trial for 1 week for 7 days, but saying there will be no refunds after 7 days. All sales will be final purchase after 7 days. Link will be in the description for that as well, and the starting price will be at $30, which will increase to 40 after maybe 1 to 2 months. Then the final price will be at 50. So you do get $30 for a lifetime if you do actually decide to purchase it. But other than that, let's talk about the conflux indicator. So we're going to keep this as single, long signal 1. We'll change this to buy signal only. Make sure this is checked by default, enable long 1. Short signal 1, we'll do sell signal only. Okay. Make sure this is checked by default. I don't really mess with any of the settings. Exit method, I changed this to indicator exit. Then long TP indicator, make sure you are checking take profit, okay? I see a lot of traders messaging me saying they're saying long TP, long stop loss. These do not work, okay? Do not check these two and these two. I see a lot of traders choosing them and they're not exiting the trade. So make sure you're choosing take profit and then stop loss. And that's all I did for this one. Properties, obviously you can change your contract size, everyone knows that. I do see people telling me that, let's say they choose 30 contract size, and let's give it a second to load. And when they change the default size, the signal disappears. That's because the initial capital does not justify the default size, because this does not use leverage. If your signal disappears, that means you don't have enough initial capital to be using this default size, because it does not have leverage in the properties tab. So you will need to increase the initial capital, for example, for it to actually show. Give it a second to load and see the signal comes back on the screen, okay? So that's like one question I'm getting asked a lot, is they're increasing the default size, but signal disappears. It's because the initial capital is not enough. It does not take into consideration or into account leverage. And inputs tab, another question, like I mentioned before, make sure you're choosing take profit for TP, stop loss for SL, and same thing with these two. Do not be choosing long TP, long SL. It does not work. It will not exit the trade. And then obviously make sure you check on bar close. I usually leave this unchecked, and that's all I do. And I also see a lot of people having these buy and long signals. This is just person preference. I highly recommend actually taking them off, because you already have these strategy signals. So there's no point in having both buy and sells. It just makes the chart looks uglier, clutter. Then I like to actually make this 50% shaded if you want your chart to actually look like mine. And the link for the Shift Algo X indicator will be in my description. You will only get it for 49 instead of paying 67 basically on the Shift Algo website. Then I remove these two. And then I like to make this third level thickness. And there you go. Now let me actually go over a strategy, how to automate strategy real quick. So you do need a third-party platform such as, Traders Post, Cross Trade, QuantLink, Pick My Trade. I personally use Traders Post. So you hit new strategy, name it whatever you want. I'll just put testing for now. Just an FYI, you do need a third party platform in order to automate the trades. Okay, leave this by default. Systematic asset class, change that to futures. Allow auto submit should be checked. Everything else I leave by default. Then hit subscribe. Select whatever broker you want. I'll choose TradingView demo for now. Make sure you do actually check auto submit. The futures, yes. Allow sites. Make sure you check both bullish and bearish. Intro order type, I choose market. X order type, I choose market. And that's all I do. Then I enable. Okay, then you go to webhook. Make sure you're selecting TradingView strategy. You just copy this. And make sure you're setting the alert with the ConFlux. So hit these three dots, add alert, go to message tab, and then just paste the strategy right there. Name it whatever you want. I do talk more in depth about automation. Just check out my other YouTube videos in my channel. That's all I do. I just copy and paste. I change nothing. Go to notifications, then webhook URL, hit copy, then hit paste, then create. And see, it's not active. That's all you have to do for this one. And you see the alert icon, that means there's an active alert with this one. But if you change something in the settings, let's say I change this to a 10 and this to a 6, hit OK. Give it a couple of seconds for it to actually load on the chart. And see how the alert icon disappears. It means that you changed something in the settings. If you do change it back, then the alert icon does actually come back. Um, so when you change something in the settings, you do actually have to delete the alert. So you do have to delete this one, and then you will need to actually remake the alert all over again. So go to message tab, and the only thing you have to do is just copy and paste the exact same JSON message again, and then just put testing notifications. Just copy the exact same webhook URL, and then hit create. That's really all you have to do. You don't really have to actually remake the strategy or the subscription again. Um, That's all you have to do. You just go to strategy, or no, actually you go to subscription. You just hit like edit, and then just go to webhook, and then just copy and paste. You don't really have to delete any of this. You're just copying and pasting the exact same JSON message and webhook URL, and then that's all you have to do. Another common question I got asked is if you're automating a MetaTrader 5, for example, and let's say your broker uses a suffix, let's say an S. So it will be USD JPYS, for example. And it's not executing the trade, or it's giving an error message. So you right click, you go to export list, go to properties, and look for where it says suffix. So there's a prefix and a suffix. I already actually added it, but that will actually be blank by default. So if your broker uses a suffix like S, then you just put S there. Then that's all you have to do. So whenever it actually automates the trade, it will automatically include S. So it should be able to execute after that. And in my other video, I did not mention about the automation strategy script for this one. But how you can find it is you go to Pine Connector Docs. You'll go to where it says Module 1 Bridge, and you go to No Code Setup. And this is the one I used before. So you just hit copy and then you just paste it in the alert message tab. But that's basically how you get it. And then obviously just copy the webhook URL. So yeah, that's basically how you do that strategy script for this one. And if you're having any issues, they do have an online chat system as well, so you can always chat with them. Same thing with Traders Post; they do have an online chat. If you do have any questions or any, concerns with error messages, you can always feel free to chat with them. I done that millions of times before, and never had any issues with it. But other than that, that's probably all I'm gonna discuss in this video. So hopefully you find some value in this video. So make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And I do upload videos every week. So other than that, I'll catch you next week.